Every YouTuber has what I'd call a recording voice when it comes to making videos, and if they say they don't, they're 100% lying to you. I mean, I'm no exception to this either. I 100% have a recording voice. But for the first time, I decided that I'm gonna try to do a video without it. So, you know, let's go. I'm concerned for this community. Not the League of Legends community necessarily. I mean, I guess I'm always going to be concerned for all of us and why we choose to play this game, but I'm talking about a more specific community inside the League of Legends community. A certain champion has been getting a lot of attention these last few weeks, but not for the reasons that you'd typically expect. This champion wasn't reworked. It didn't have some sick new Korean build that just came out, so why was this champion getting so much attention? Well, it turns out when a champion hits a 41% win rate, which, by the way, that's like not good, people start to make a pretty big deal out of it, and that's exactly what happened to our blue friend Ryze. Now, Ryze has never been a great champion. I mean, the last time Ryze had above a 50% win rate was all the way back in 2017, and his glory days didn't last very long. In fact, they were just that. They were days. It literally lasted less than a month. I mean, there's a reason he's gotten reworked 6 times now. He was low-key, but also high-key, already the worst champion in the game, and then he officially became so bad that the next lowest champion still had a 3.5% win rate higher than him. At this point, Ryze literally needed his own tier for how bad he was, and it was like, you know, a funny joke. Haha, look how bad this guy is. He needs his own tier. Ha, funny. And it was all fun and games. It really was, until OP.GG decided to list him as the 54th mid laner out of 53 champions. Then it just became a little sad. Now, how did this happen exactly? Well, for starters, you can thank the massive patch of 12.10 where they nerfed pretty much everyone. A lot of the champions became a lot more squishier, including our very sad blue friend, Ryze. Unfortunately for Ryze, he also just happens to be a squishy, close-range combat mage champion, though he especially got smacked. Now, surprisingly, what was less concerning to me wasn't the fact that somebody had a 41% win rate in this game. Yeah, it was weird. Yeah, it was bad. It was weird and bad. If I saw one on my team, I was definitely gonna dodge. But what really caught my attention was the community of Ryze mains suffering throughout this whole process. Now, like I already said, Ryze hasn't exactly been the best champion over the years, so people who main this thing as their champion were already a bit unstable. All they needed was a little push over the edge for them to lose their minds completely. And when you know it, a 41% win rate was the perfect catalyst for that to happen. Now, if you've ever been on the League of Legends subreddit before, you know that it's usually pretty chill. People will post highlights, complain about the latest patch notes, you know, the usual stuff. However, the Ryze mains subreddit page was, how do I put this, a little bit special. One of the top posts right off the bat looks to be someone smashing their keyboard with a few Ryze abilities sprinkled in there, you know, a few EQs. And then right below that, we have someone posting about mental health support lines. And then we have someone saying that they'll just become Ryze in real life. Apparently, we're living off of blue antifreeze and consuming homeless people's HP. So the usual, I guess. Apparently, I wasn't alone when it comes to my concerns for the Ryze mains, as someone posted this in the subreddit asking how mentally unstable everyone was. And this was the top response to that, which, by the way, was just Ryze's ultimate being explained in Arabic. Truly wish I was over-exaggerating how weird this subreddit was, but this was seriously a strong majority of the posts. And the post didn't stop from there. From more spam, to someone describing how they were pregnant with Ryze, to stories of people saying how they were visited by Ryze at night. I was genuinely starting to get concerned for this community. At this point, even they themselves were starting to question their own sanity. And I don't know if that's a good thing or bad thing. And you know, honestly, I really can't blame them too much. Making this video, I forced myself to play some Ryze games, and holy shit, man, it was bad. It was like awful bad. I thought I was CSing fine. I thought I was laning fine, and no matter what I did, I would just get blown up every single time. So if I'm taking one thing away from this, it's the fact that I never have to play this champion ever again. Anyways, after patch 12.10 and after Ryze hit its beautiful 41% win rate, everyone in the Ryze community just kind of decided to give up hope that Riot would ever save Ryze. And instead, they did the next best thing. They just decided to embrace the idea that they are truly in a league of their own when it comes to the worst champion in the game. And they didn't just embrace the idea, they wanted more. They wanted to see how far they could push Ryze's win rate down. So it became a thing. Now, I'm pretty sure that the original thought process behind this was that they would push Ryze's win rate so far down that Ryze would have to recognize him as a champion again, and then they would maybe potentially even give him another rework. But eventually, I'm pretty confident that it just turned into people trying to get him to as low as a win rate as possible for the sole reason of why the not. It's you know, we're already down here anyways, you might as well see how far I can go. Unfortunately, or fortunately for Ryze mains, I really don't know anymore, a buff did come in patch 12.11. And this buff was so huge that it brought him all the way up to now being tied for last with 2 other champions. It's honestly quite the improvement. However, if I'm being honest, I think the Ryze mains were actually kind of pissed about these buffs. I mean, if you think about it, for the first time in a long time, he actually got some attention from the League of Legends community. Sure, it wasn't for the most positive of reasons, but you know what they say, any publicity is good publicity, right?
No.
I feel like in a way it made Ryze mains feel special for a bit. Now he's just back to being a normal bad champion instead of a special bad champion. Anyways, I'm thinking about you Ryze mains, and I hope you're hanging in there. I'm gonna end on a clip for y'all that proves win rate doesn't matter and that you just have to know how to play your champion. Huge shout out to my tier 3 patrons, James, Noctax, Stefan. Thank you guys so much, and thank you so much to my other patrons as well. All right, bye.